There we go. All right, gentlemen. You know what I'm holding up that you can't see, Steven?
No, I don't know what you're holding up.
32 gigabytes of RAM. Guess what I replaced it with?
It's huge.
5,000 gigabytes.
64 gigabytes of RAM, young man. I am going at the speed of fucking sound. But my computer
So much RAM, but your computer can't stream video.
The czar of Nintendo czar taking shots.
A hamster on steroids is still a hamster.
That's true. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 40. We're at episode 40, gentlemen. Round of applause.
And not canceled.
Of the CoinOp Cowboys, we are the greatest entertainment in the world, guaranteed, or my dog will lick the peanut butter off that squirrel until it nuts. Yeah. Now we start every episode with a question that contemplates existence and squeezes every gigabyte out of your ice cream. I'm going to introduce every cowboy in turn. They'll say hello and answer a question. They're going in the perfect order. And again, this is the perfect order. I cannot stress that enough. Now, before we ask that question, call of action. Like, subscribe, follow, and comment. Do it now. Do it now.
Right now.
Do it. Do it now. Before we ask the question, answer along with the boys. We'll pick our favorite answer, and I totally reread that line. I'm so stupid. We'll pick our favorite answer, and you'll get a prize TBD. You can also send us an email at coinopcowboyspod@gmail.com. We love reading and reacting to your feedback, so say hi. Let us know what you like. If you like the show, if you don't like the show, I don't give a fiddler's fuck, but let us know. If you agree or disagree, let us know. So the question for this episode is, and this is one of my favorites because this is a game near and dear to my heart.
Animal Crossing.
If you were to fight for your life, if you were to fight for your fucking life in a Super Smash Brothers tournament with every other cowboy present, what character would you choose?
Do we need to specify which Super Smash Brothers game? Or does it not matter?
It is the latest release because that has the most characters.
It's more balanced.
Now, if you feel like you need to, it's more balanced. But if you feel like you need to go to a previous version, that's fine. I'm just looking for the character. And the person going first in the perfect order, again, don't question this goddamn order. I'm sick of this shit. Don't question it. Is me.
Well, shit! I'm the fucking Nintendo czar.
You are the Nintendo czar.
You can just Nintendo czar these nuts.
Yes, right, yo.
It's a good one, Chris, actually.
And I'm going to say Pit.
Pit. I like Pit. He doesn't hit hard.
Do you know why?
Because you can't fall off the edge because he has wings?
No, because my name is Angel and he's an angel.
Aww.
That's it. That's the only fucking reason. That's also why I cheer for the Angels. Because my name's Angel. All right, next up in the perfect order is Chris.
What up, CoinOp Cowboys? It's going to be a great episode here. I'm excited. It's actually Super Smash Brothers is one of the things that I really pride myself on being very talented at. My brother and I spent a lot of time duking it out, and I feel like we're both pretty good on it. I'm not quite sure who has the edge at this point, but I know of the 3 CoinOp Cowboys on this podcast, I confidently feel like I could beat them. Now, online and on the internet, I'd probably come across something that, some wild ones out there. But in the original Super Smash Brothers, by far, it was Captain Falcon. But since that game, they nerfed him. He wasn't as powerful. He doesn't hit as hard anymore. So I have, in the current version, I would switch to Link, who has kind of been tried and true. I think he's not overly fast, but everything he does hits hard. And his special is great, too. He I think he shoots a big old arrow and blows you up. Or no. He does the Triforce thing and smacks you into oblivion.
Yeah, you're not talking about Child Link, right? You're talking about Adult
Link. Oh,
Link.
you correct. Specifically Adult Link. Child Link didn't hit hard enough. And then Ganondorf was wrong too.
Oh, Ganondorf was one of my favorites. I love the slow characters except for Captain Falcon. He can go fuck himself. But I appreciate and respect your choices, Chris. Thank you very much. Next up in the perfect order. Hold on. Steven.
I'm in a fight for my life. I'm not necessarily playing the game, right? This is just a fight for my life kind of thing.
You're fighting for your life.
Well, the clear answer is
if you don't win, they're going to execute you. Like you're on Squid Games. It's like Squid Games for Super Smash Brothers on the Wii.
Okay, so I'm looking at a list here because I'm not familiar with every single character. And I see Mewtwo on this list, and I feel like he would be the most powerful person in the world if it was actually a fair fight. But if I'm being a little selfish, maybe I'll just take Zelda and live out some fantasies before I die.
Those are 2 terrible choices.
You are dying first. Yeah, they're the worst.
By far. So Mewtwo's funny. He's really powerful.
Because I'm thinking, they didn't say I'm fighting in Super Smash Brothers. No, listen. Mewtwo would dominate any character in this game because of his psychic abilities, right? Like if you're in a fight for your life, dude, Mewtwo's probably going to help you out the most. Now, if he's good in this game, I don't know because I've never really played the game in depth.
Wow.
I suck at fighting games. It's a well-known fact that I don't like fighting games because I suck at them. Yeah, I don't play Super Smash Brothers.
Clearly not.
So Mewtwo had this mechanic where he jumps with his mind. So he doesn't do like a simple like aerodynamic jump forward. He does this kind of like slowly float backwards, slowly do a front somersault. He's not agile, but he'll hit you hard.
You said
it's definitely hard.
If you're in a fight for your life,
yeah.
In what character would you want next to you? Not I'm trying to win a tournament.
So Steven is thinking about it of, I'm in downtown LA and I need Mewtwo to suddenly be real so that I can fight off some people. And I don't think that's necessarily the question. I think it's the game.
Oh, well, that's a stupid question because like the question is just like, hey, which character would you pick if you're playing Super Smash Brothers and you want to win the game?
Yes.
Basic bitch. That's all I gotta say about that question. Basic ass fucking question.
Dude, I'm pretty sure Steven's like 7 for 11 on misunderstanding the entry questions.
Because he says them so vague, and why would you even ask that question? That's a dumb question to say, oh, which character you want to pick to win the tournament? No, I'm thinking fight for your life. You're in an arena, you're fighting lions and tigers, and you're fighting fucking like hordes of like an army, you know? That's a way cooler question.
You know what? It sounds like the best loser of the Nintendo Czar competition.
You know what? Bowser might be a good option.
And
Seeing how big you know what? Bowser in the
he's so slow. He's so fucking slow in his fire.
Did you see how big he was in the Mario movie?
Quickly.
Real quick.
Let's see here. Are you sure I can't just?
He's still not that big in the Mario movie.
Have a quick little fuck before we go.
Thank you so much, Stephen, for your.
I picked Steven Alex from Minecraft.
What the dude, I was about to pick that.
I picked the stupidest looking one on there.
How dare you?
On the list.
Mr. Game &
Last
Watch?
but not least, our recently crowned Nintendo Czar for 2024, Ryan.
What up, CoinOpians? It's your favorite cowboy.
I can't hear you.
What up, CoinOpians?
I still can't hear you. Speak up.
Hey!
That's too loud. That's too fucking loud, dude.
I said, what's going on, CoinOpians? It's your favorite cowboy, Ryan, here.
Hi.
That's better.
Says Carl.
Now, I got a lot of fans out there, but I want you all to know I'm back for one fan only. Jasmine. You're welcome.
Carl's so fucking slighted, dude.
Carl. But anyway, Angels asked us a question. I'm here with the best, most correctest answer. And my Smash Brother character, I would bust you all up with Cloud's Buster Sword, baby. Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII will fuck you all up.
Cool.
Oh.
Fuck you, Steven. Fuck you and your sarcasm. Just you to fucking know.
Just because we're asking the lamest question in the world.
So Ryan, how heavy is that sword that Cloud has to hold? Like in real life. In real life, it looks unrealistic.
Let's Google it. Google will tell us how heavy is Cloud's Buster Sword.
15.5 pounds?
No, where are you getting that?
It?
Mine says 60 pounds.
That sounds way more realistic. But even that would still be heavy. That'd be
If it
5.
was made out of zinc or aluminum alloy, it'd be 20 pounds.
All right. Well, I guess that makes more sense.
I still feel like 60 pounds is light with how big it is.
Yeah. Well, I guess when you're fighting with a tin can, I mean, it should weigh about that much.
People are saying that Pikachu is still considered an overpowered character.
Really?
He's max level when Ash gets him. Did you know that?
No,
He's max level 100.
did not know that.
First of all, when he fought the Spearows in episode 1 or 2, he knew Thunder. Fuck you, Steven.
Just kidding.
He knew Thunder. You don't learn Thunder till way fucking later, dude.
Yeah, but why didn't he have... Wasn't there a joke about why he didn't evolve or something? I feel like
Was there a joke?
I
Really?
don't know. Well, I don't know. I just thought you might know one.
I agree. You don't know.
I don't.
All right. Thank you very much, Ryan, for your Cloud answer. And
You're welcome.
That rounds up the questions. That was very good. All right. Thank you, Czar. Well respected. Now we're going to go on to the mailbag. Wow, we're moving off pretty quick. We might have time for bones. All right. So let's go ahead and let's talk to. Let me make sure I didn't read this already.
Could we get a cool sound bit for our mailbag? Like I'm thinking of the bit from Blue's Clues.
That's literally, yeah. All right. This email's from John, and I included this one, I remember, because I thought it would be really funny.
Was it John with an H or Jon?
With an H. Now, I thought this would be... I'm cutting this out, guys. I thought this would be funny. It's really awkward. Email from John. CoinOpians. John here.
John.
Shit, cut this out. All right.
No, say it. I want to hear it.
Read the fucking email.
I don't know. I regret picking this. Okay.
Read the fucking email. You only get like 2 of them. It's not like you pick them.
CoinOpians. John here. I get bullied for being gay at school. I live in Alabama where my lifestyle is not really accepted as it is in California. I want to know how you handled it, Stephen. Thanks for sharing your stories. Love how much trouble you get into.
First of all, listen, it's not an insult to think that I'm a homosexual. If I was a homosexual, I'd be loud and proud. And I'm sorry that you live in a place that you can't be loud and proud.
Just lightheaded. I'm laughing so hard.
Loud and proud like you are.
I feel like all the other CoinOpians are being a little disrespectful to you right now. But there's one thing that I take serious in life, and that is bullying. And I think that anybody who bullies anyone for being gay is a piece of shit. And I would fight for you. I'm comfortable with who I am as a person, and whether people view me as gay or straight or whatever, it doesn't matter. Because we're all cool. So why don't you just come on, move to a city that's a little more mainstream, and get around some people who are gonna, accept you for who you are. But don't come to the Coin Op Cowboy podcast, because I don't even know why you listen to it. It's very, very homophobic and very, very cancelable. But I got you. That's all I gotta say. You guys are neat.
All right.
That was good, Stephen.
That was very nice, Stephen. A very nice boy. You keep on keeping on, John. You move to California. We'll welcome you with open arms here.
Open buttholes.
Or New York. I'm going to go hard. Get it to something.
Ryan would welcome you with an open butthole. We know that.
I'll be honest, I wasn't ready for that question.
I don't think that's real. It's just one of many people who are like, Steven's fucking homosexual.
That's even better.
Yeah.
I really hope that's the case. All right. Thank you very much, John. Love hearing from you. Please feel free to reach out to Stephen. He obviously is a kindred spirit and is willing to help no matter what the cost is. All right. Next up, email. This one's also for Stephen.
Nice. Dude, is this why it's going to get me?
Email from Megan.
From Megan?
This is from Megan. I'm telling you, dude, women love our podcast.
Nice. I'm in so much trouble right now. I don't know what's going on, but I'm in trouble.
Hello, CoinOpians. Love your back and forth every week, even though episodes don't always come out on time. Makes it that much more special when they do come out. I was listening to old podcasts and came across Stephen's story about switching majors from computer science to engineering. I'm having a similar experience. Couldn't stand chemistry, but love accounting. Parents are upset, but I just wanted to be happy. Thank you for making me feel better in my own skin, sharing your story.
Well,
wow, that was very sweet.
Angel promised.
Megan.
Now the question was to me, Ryan.
But
how about you?
I just want Megan to know. Okay. I just want Megan to know. Steven had to change majors because he's stupid.
It's not true. Bunch of bullies.
You're going from one smart major to another smart major and following a passion. You follow that passion.
Bunch of bullies on this podcast today, apparently, making fun of people for being gay and switching majors and stuff. So, first of all, I don't know. I never expected that story to mean anything to anybody. But yeah, I don't remember exactly what I talked about when I talked about changing majors. I just felt very out of place where I was. And it wasn't that I couldn't do it. I was passing the classes fine. I was keeping up with the curriculum fine. But everybody in my classes were just so far ahead of me. it made me feel out of place. And I saw like the gap of knowledge, and I had to sit there and evaluate whether that was something I wanted to pursue. And I couldn't answer that question honestly, because I think I went into it thinking, oh, video games are fun and I'm going to learn how to make them. And then you realize pretty quickly in a computer science, you're like, that's not what this is about. I mean, it goes way deeper and way more spread out, and you're not that good at it compared to everybody else. I got discouraged, I'm not going to lie. But it was also gave me an opportunity to change my major, which I kind of did randomly, but I'm super happy that I did. And if you're having those doubts, don't fucking stay in it. I mean, you'll spend 4 years chasing down something you don't even know if you're going to like, and then end up, it's not reversible as much as you would like it to be. It's not reversible once you commit your education that much into something. So if you're feeling that, do it. And I don't know what you said. What was it? Accounting versus what?
Chemistry, Stephen. Pay attention.
Yeah, I know it's okay, accounting, but like she's switching to accounting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand why the parents would be upset. It's not like you're switching to like a major that's notorious for not getting a job afterwards. Like, accounting would be a very useful, very easy to find kind of job afterwards. So stick with it. Do what you want to do. Your parents will be happy. Your parents suck, dude. If they're mad you're going to be going into accounting, your parents kind of suck. Low-key. They're probably cool people. Probably not. If they hate you for switching a major, they're not cool people. I guarantee that. So just focus on you. And thanks for being a listener, Meg.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I mean, I think accounting is a very high major to go into. And I think anything heavily math based, not everyone can do that. And I remember we were talking to my coworkers telling me about this guy at his church that he's in his freshman year of college, and he's like, hey man, or he's asking him, like, how's the majors going? And he's like, oh, I picked Spanish. That's going to be my major. And he's like, oh, okay. So you want to be a Spanish teacher? He's like, no, I'm interested in the language of Spain. And he's like, well, you do realize that eventually you leave college and you need to use that to get a job. So if you get a Spanish degree, most of the time you become a Spanish teacher or like an interpreter. And he's like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. And he's like, well, when you pick your major, you want to think about that. And it's ironic how many people I've talked to about that they have no idea what they're doing that. There was a receptionist at my work that she's like, oh, I'm going to be a communications major. I was like, oh, okay. So what do you do with that? And she's like, I don't know. It's just something I was interested in. I said, okay, well, like what's the job? I mean, maybe the listeners can tell me what that is, but I wasn't quite sure. Like, oh, does that mean you're like a court reporter, or does that mean you go into teaching, or you go into maybe like marketing a little bit? Like you're trying to explain to a organization how your customer is trying to, search for their product. I don't know, something like that. But there's something to be said about when you pick your major, figure out what kind of job goes with that major, and figure out if that's the job you want. And if it's not, now's the time to change it. So, and when I'm thinking of a science degree, I'm like, okay, well, you're going to go, I mean, science, you have good opportunities too, but are you going to be out there getting grants to create, nuclear fusion or something? Okay. I don't know if you're going to go that far. You're probably going to go to a company that's going to be designing like plastic bowls. Like that's that. I can see like you go getting hired by Rubbermaid. Hey, we want to make a better plastic bowl. Like that might be where chemistry goes. Or my buddy who was a chemical engineer, he went into the gas and oil field. And when he got to the gas and oil field, he hated it. He said, this is terrible. He didn't want to do it. So he quit. And now he's in computer science. Go figure. So think of the long term. And I agree with Steven. The parents should be happy that you're just doing something, like some kind of, you're pursuing some kind of education you're going for. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Where's all the hate mail? I was hoping for some juicy things.
It's mostly towards me.
Well, we can't read Matt Kyle. No. Who's that one? Who's that guy that got banned?
49er.
Yeah, the 49er. All of his email is locked up in admin right now.
They're grammatically incorrect on purpose. It's fine. All right, I'll read one more, and this one's to me.
Ooh, juicy.
This is from Chad. Email from Chad. All right. Hello, you cowboys. Hope you see this. Question for Angel. Every episode description says you're the world record holder for biggest ego, yet you never really talk about yourself. Why?
That's a very accurate question.
Huh.
It's probably because in order for him to get that nationally ranked record for having the biggest ego, he has to compete against other people with egos. But we've realized those people are actually bots with egos.
Couldn't be more wrong. Well, Chad, thank you for the stupid question. That's because I'm so important. I wouldn't waste my breath on these three goons in the general public full of average people. I only accept attention from the elite. Okay, I rarely listen to what these cowboys say because I'm improving my position in other ways. Okay, I'm running algorithms while they're talking, analyzing the markets for the next day, claiming victory royale after victory royale. Because let's not forget, I'm nationally ranked and answering emails from my C-suite executive mentoring program. No big deal. Truth is, I'm nationally ranked, and my time is better spent improving my position than listening to Steven and Ryan fart into the microphone all night.
Yeah. No one's above that. No one.
Thanks again for the question. And that was the nicest one, actually. A lot of the hate is towards me. So
is probably your perfect order, I'm assuming.
It's the most perfect.
Can we
order.
hear some of this hate mail? I want to know what it's all about, man.
I want the hate mail, Angel.
No, they don't deserve it. Okay.
Okay, can you briefly summarize?
I might make a segment. I might make a segment another time.
What a cock tease! You fucking teased it all week, and then you're fucking pulling it back.
Well, last week we didn't have any bones. Does anybody have any bones to pick?
I used my bone.
I have a bone to pick. I have a bone.
Shit. Ryan, tell us about your bone.
My bone to pick is with a listener.
Ooh.
Yes.
Carl?
Jasmine.
Who?
Jasmine.
Okay.
She still hasn't sent us a picture.
Thirsty boy. Get this boy some water. Get him some water. Thirsty.
Jasmine, you heard the man. Is that it?
So one of the last times I brought up a bone, one of the other cowboys rudely stated that the things I brought up were not bones, and they were just something funny to talk about.
Right.
So I wouldn't say I have a bone, but something that I did write down here is: did anyone see John Cena at the Oscars?
Naked Cena.
So I could say, or I say I don't have a bone, but I'm pretty sure his boner was holding up that envelope at the Oscars.
Oh,
small piece of paper, wasn't covering much. It didn't look like.
And my favorite meme on the internet is it shows a picture of that and they go, I don't get it. There's just a floating envelope.
Yeah.
And I was like, I see what you did there. So that gave me a little smile.
I don't know if I should pick this bone.
Pick it.
Pick the bone.
Pick it.
No.
It's more fun. The more dramatic and the more drama it causes, probably the better.
I might cut this depending on how it goes, okay?
You've said that about a lot of things.
No, this one I might
your bone.
I don't know how this is going to go.
He has a bone with
I
Ryan.
have a bone to pick. All right. I rarely do. Okay. Because who gives a fuck? But this time I actually care because I was lied to.
Oh?
I was lied to by Cowboy Chris and Cowboy Steven.
Ooh, good.
Ooh,
this is good. I'm excited.
Double lie.
I'm
safe. I'm safe.
I thrive on chaos. I thrive on it.
Now, listen here, gentlemen.
Don't you tell me what to do.
I've never been to Ryan's famous karaoke birthdays.
Uh-huh.
But I hear that he is the greatest, the most amazing Bon Jovi singer ever.
That was told by
Angelic.
that was like a self pat on the back kind of a thing there.
Okay, Steven. Okay.
Are we reclassifying? I heard he's the best.
Who did you hear it
and
from?
Chris.
Are you sure about that?
I literally just said, dude. Hey,
listen,
man,
open your ear balls.
You dumb motherfucker. I said Steven and the Honorable Chris.
Hey, Steven, if you were to listen
I said it ironically.
If you were to listen to the podcast, you would hear that moment where we said that.
Yeah, I definitely was sarcastic in that moment.
Occasions. And I've actually felt left out because listeners, I've
been to one.
Growing up, I had Mexican Christmas. It was the 24th, and Ryan's birthday's celebration's always on the 24th. So I always felt left out, but it's fine. It's fine. You know, you do what you do, but it's always been this legendary performance that I've heard of.
It is legendary.
Now, in one of the chats, I was witness while Ryan was on one of his elaborate vacations to the Dominican Republic. Performance. Now, Ryan, I apologize because you're a good person.
Don't lie to him.
You have so many people lying to you, sir. What I witnessed in that recording, and it could have been that it was an android. I don't know. All I heard was Ryan growl.
Growling
at 50 people off key. That's all I heard.
That's a good ear, Simon.
Angel,
that's a good ear, Simon.
Angel, I need to apologize to you because the performances don't translate.
No apology needed. Ryan, you've been lied to. Okay, you get feedback, and then eventually, I understand because you hear from lesser people or the people, the audience, that you're doing an amazing job. So
yes,
Chris and Steven, what the hell? I was ready for the performance of a lifetime. I was ready to put this in a Coin Op Cowboys ad.
Well,
what do you have to say?
Well, what I have to say is, would the CoinOpians like to hear what Angel's referring to?
Yes, they would.
Can you fire that up?
Yes, they would. So I apologize, Ryan. You've been lied to your entire life. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I am a great friend. I'm a great person. I will tell you the truth, 100%.
Ooh. So the bone is with Ryan, more or less, because I mean, I feel like as a person who just
Angel just doesn't like my talents. That's what I'm getting.
So the bone is, Steven, you're a good friend, and we're hyping up your bud. My bone is with you because you're such a good friend.
You said he was the greatest. That was the greatest Bon Jovi, whatever the fuck that song was. It was just growling. It was growling. And it was off key. And it's fine.
Listen, to this day,
it
is the best Bon Jovi karaoke performance I have ever heard. To this day. I've only heard two. Him and his brother.
Thank you, Steven.
Stop lying to him, Steven. You can't.
That is a fact. The best top Bon Jovi performance I've ever heard in person at karaoke.
What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit, friend.
But here's a redemptive arc. Now we give Bon Ryan an opportunity next week on the Coin Op Cowboys to sing one or two lines for us to prove for all the fans.
Karaoke episode?
Like it. I like it.
Oh, I'd kill you guys.
Maybe.
But we can't broadcast the music in the background. I just realized.
We can sing a cappella.
A cappella is the true talent.
And then everybody else has to do like background vocals while we sing. And it'll be the probably most listened to one of all time.
That would be good.
Well, that's my bone with you, Chris and Steven. You know,
sorry I misled you. To each their own, right? Like some people like to eat onions, some people don't.
Right. Angel, one day you'll be blessed with a live performance, my friend.
I'm pretty sure I get the hint. Okay, I get the actual what's going on.
It's all right, Angel.
Okay, all shit aside, I was really disappointed with the performance.
I'm so happy you really thought it was going to be like
what did you expect?
Ryan must be amazing at this shit. No, I walked into the room. Brittany's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, don't tell anyone, but Ryan sucks. Bon Jovi, she's like, it's great, right? I'm like, no. And she's like, that's what I hear. And I'm like, you got to hear this. So she heard it. She tried not to laugh. And I'm like, you can't laugh. That's not nice. I'm going to tell Ryan later. But it was a whole night. I stayed up till like 2 a.m. contemplating, should I bring this up? And you know what? As a good friend, I think I should have. So Ryan, sorry, friend.
I forgive you, but I have a strong stance that karaoke is not supposed to be good.
It kind of I agree with that, because if one person in the group's good, like it's going to ruin the time for everybody else. Like you want everybody to be normal singers, right? Like normal people singing. That's the fun of karaoke.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to go to like open mic night, then now I'll go to open mic night and listen to like amateurs sing. Like that would be fun. But I mean, if someone's good singing, you're like, oh, come on, do it. And they finally get on stage, as long as they're not like doing it to brag, like, and you have to kind of force them up there.
But that's what you guys said. He was amazing.
He is amazing. It's the top Bon Jovi performance I've ever heard.
It's an amazing performance, but it's not good. It's not good.
Like I said.
All right. Now let me ask you this open. Should I remove this?
No,
you should totally keep it. That's a good one.
Let it ride, baby.
I would like to defend myself, though.
I don't want to kill the joke. All right.
Would like to defend that. Angel, I think you're right. I have come to the conclusion that I am a poor judge of talent, but I am a great judge of friends. You guys?
Sure. Thanks. Good. Cool. Yeah.
All right. That's all I got to say about that.
Sorry to disappoint you, Angel.
No, it's not.
I just want to hear you sing next weekend. Next week, next podcast.
Any other bones?
No.
I do not have a bones to pick.
Spin your fucking wheel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the segment of the show where we spin wheels. I closed the wheel because my computer crashed like a piece of shit.
It's going to crash as soon as you open the wheel. You don't have the computing power for the wheel.
It's because I was running like 4 games in the background. I got cocky.
Nice.
Here we go.
No, it worked.
Fuck you.
Who's it going to be? It's going to be Chris. It's fucking Chris.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't even have V on there.
Hold on. Okay. Chris, what did you bring for the CoinOpians today?
All right, CoinOpians, get on up close to the fire, sit on down. We're going to have a great talk here. And starting with that, I want to lean into my fellow cowboys. And, I was thinking of something. Did your parents ever have a special saying to you as a kid? Like an idiom or anything fun like that?
Yes.
Yeah, my dad always said, life's not fair, get over it.
I like it.
Ryan, clean the dishes.
I've got one, Chris.
I had a
Let's hear
really
it.
dark joke too, but I'm not going there.
What was your joke? Cool.
Steven's
Cool,
joke?
dude.
Oh.
Yeah, Steven's joke. He's ignoring me because he's playing the Mafia Wars.
No, I have
fine.
like 10 tabs up right now. I'm getting cocky.
Oh, it didn't crash. That's awesome. Must be nice.
I was going to say,
Okay.
Ryan's family had a joke.
Say it, you piece of shit.
His uncle. Let me tell you what he used to say.
What?
I don't want to do it. And I'll make
Say
it.
it.
No,
You're already there.
Do it, you fucking.
Say it. Say it.
you want tickles?
What? He's not. Ryan, you're not saying no.
Was that the joke?
Yeah, your uncle had a saying. It was like, you want tickles?
That's the joke?
It's dark. It's whatever. It's
That was a bad joke. All right.
So disappointed. I have never been more disappointed in you.
It's a molesting joke, man.
I hate it when those molesting jokes don't go over well.
Hit. They don't land.
Yeah.
Chris, I've got one for you. You ready for this?
Ready.
Touch you in the funny.
El que madruga, Dios lo ayuda.
I don't recognize any of those words.
They are Spanish, meaning God helps those who rise early.
Early to rise.
Yes. It's used to motivate someone to start their day early and take initiative.
I like it.
I have a couple more if you want.
Sure, have at it, man.
Okay.
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 A mal tiempo, buena cara, which means put on a brave face in bad times. It's an encouragement to remain positive during difficult situations.
I like it.
And one of my favorite, because it has my favorite color in there, no todo lo que brilla es oro, means not everything that glitters is gold. It's a reminder to look beyond appearance and be cautious of seemingly attractive things.
Right.
Man, those are some golden nuggets you could say there. Would you say they've helped out in life?
Absolutely not.
Well,
terrible.
you should write a few down and try using them tomorrow and see how it goes.
Okay.
I was always told not to be a dupayash.
Is that Polish for something?
Yes.
What does it mean?
It's like, don't be an idiot.
There's some wise words. That was good. That was good. I was thinking the other day. I remember my parents. They always said 2 very specific things. My brother and I. And the first thing they said was, "Do your personal best. Don't do the best of others. Do whatever you can do that's best." But the one that hit was make good choices. Did your parents ever tell you to do that? Okay, off school. Hey, have fun. Make good choices. Yeah. No.
No.
Sure. Like that. So.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Yeah, kind of one of those. So what I would try to use those, try and make the best choice at the moment, but I specifically remember that some choices had consequences or reactions as well. So the other day I was listening to this audiobook called Salvation. It's an audio original. But the premise is this guy gets PTSD. Apparently he was in the military. They had like a night incursion in Iraq. And what ended up happening is everyone in his like 12-person squad died except for him. So it's like 10 years later, he's been having this PTSD. He's been talking with this therapist. Well, this therapist eventually opens up to him and is like, hey, I'm not just your therapist. I'm actually a scientist, and we've been working on you to use this PTSD to travel back in time. So he gets this special ability where he's able to go back in time through someone's memory. So, like, for example, they had someone that they put like in a cryo tank after World War I. So he's able to like link up to the cryo tank and go to their memory in World War I. And then he's just walking around doing whatever he wants in World War I. And any kind of change he makes changes what's happening in real life. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, because one of the things he does is he ends up going back in his own memory to when all of his guys got killed, and he was able to save one of them. And when he came back, it was like everything was normal on the earth. Like that guy, yeah, dude, I know, we got out of there. We've been friends. We go shoot hoops every Tuesday. And the time traveler guy, he knows that history was one way and now it's different, but everyone else on the planet knows it's the same. But the concept is, imagine if you did something or made a choice and you don't like how it panned out. Imagine having a do-over button. That would be pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Right. Let's see here. So I feel like I have PTSD in a few different random ways. Actually, I probably shouldn't say PTSD, because that is a serious thing that's happening for like military folks, but I have regret that feels like PTSD, right? I heavily stress over decisions, especially if they're hard decisions. And it's funny because they're not even like life or death situations, like fantasy football, for example. I'll draft a guy and he'll burn me and I'll feel so bad about it. And it'll just, every time I think about it, I'm like, man, remember when I drafted Saquon Barkley, or when I drafted Joe Mixon and then he like broke his leg? Or even like trades were really bad. Like I think I traded with Steven and I got Joe Mixon from someone, and then he like broke his leg for the season, like shortly after that. And because of that, I realized I have a really hard time making fantasy football trades. So anyone out there who wants to trade fantasy football with me, it's going to be hard, because I have these PTSD moments. Even this morning, March Madness started today, Thursday. And all morning, I was back and forth. Do I go with BYU? Do I go with Durquette? Do I go with Houston or Arizona? Or even if you go and have a bad night of gambling, I'm like, oh man, I made like those bad decisions. So I feel like I'm susceptible to different things like this throughout life, where I'll have moments where I'll just agonize over and have problems. So I picked up this game called Baldur's Gate 3. Have any of the Cowboys played it?
Darn tootin' to completion, baby.
Hell yeah, it's a super easy game. Super easy game.
Steven sucks, so he's not good.
I do not want to comment on that game.
Why not, Steven? Tell us what,
Tell us more.
What happened? What's wrong?
It's a combination of things. It's a type. It's
really easy.
It's not a hard game. Necessarily.
Okay. So what's the problem?
Oh, his audio's
happening?
messing up.
What was that?
Okay. You sounded like a mouse. Oh, your audio is so messed up, Steven. You sound like a mouse again.
I think he's hiding the fact that Baldur's Gate is... Why do you sound like a mouse?
It's literally just chirping.
My Minecraft.
I really hope, I pray that translates to the recording.
Angel, don't cut this out. Don't cut this out.
It is, dude. Everything say it is.
Nah, that was fun.
I pray it sounds like
All right. Angel's unfrozen now. Anyways. Okay. Combination of things. So I do not really like that genre of game. Like, it's pretty slow paced, and like the turn based stuff, like it's a little bit slow paced, and like all the encounters feel like they drag, whatever. It's not the worst genre game, but it's not one that I would typically go for naturally. But I like Dungeons and Dragons, and I wanted to play this game that everybody said they were going to play and download and play together and all this crap, whatever. So I got it, paid the $70 for it, and then pretty much my biggest issue with the game is I don't really have the time to sink into it. I feel like every time you're going to play that game, you should have a few hours to sink into it, or else don't even do it, which is basically where I'm at, is don't even do it, because you don't have 3 hours to sink into this game. And a funny little thing happened, and there was Helldivers, and Helldivers came out, and it was action packed and super fucking fun, in your face.
True.
I never had time. I don't have time. Like I get home from work and by the time I'm done with being a dad, it's like, do I spend time with my wife? Do I do the podcast? Do I go for a run? Like, if I do play games, I want to play with the guys. Like I want to be like, hey, let's all get on and play a game. That's what I want. So Baldur's Gate, it does not have a place in my life and it's just collecting dust. And I wasted $60-$70 on it. Whatever. Fuck it. Cool. Find some time for me. It's never going to be like basically.
What changed?
Yeah, that's the short of it all. The game is well made. I respect it. I like the effort everybody put into it. The storyline's great. Oh, that's really cool. I could tell it's a good game. I don't know if I'll necessarily enjoy playing it so much, but I could tell it's a good game. So I do respect it. I think at first, like the way I was playing it was kind of hard, but I think I was just pushing like the limits of what my level bullshit 1-2 character can do. And I was doing things that were far above my skill level, like talking to 3 massive ogres who could smush me in one hit. I don't know if you guys remember that encounter.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I had to like reset it a few times just so I could get better rolls, but whatever.
Oh.
Like I was like, well,
I just bribed him.
5. I tried to bribe and it's like a roll of 1. I'm like, cool. I'm just going to reset that because that's bullshit. I'm just like, I'm fighting them now. And or the windmill. Like I went up to the windmill and the dude was like attached to a windmill or whatever. And I fucking pushed the wrong button and flung him. And I was like, I don't want to fling him. I pressed the wrong button.
So are you saying that this game has a lot of like actions and consequences associated with them?
Right. Yeah. But I don't like the randomness of it. Like I wish like I could more just choose what I want to do. I don't like the fact that like in a simple conversation, everything relies on a roll. It fucking pisses me off. Like I just want to say like a compliment and you roll. It's like, oh, well, you just insulted her. It's like, I get it, Dungeons and Dragons-y, like, right? Like, but sometimes you just want to get through a conversation. You don't want to make enemies and you're just like constantly like rolling bad and everybody fucking hates you. And I heard there's like a setting that you can put on there that can like stop it so you don't fail so often.
Man, we need to get Steven on a good roll on there. But I would say so that game has a lot to do with choices and decisions. Can someone tell me how choices and decisions are wrapped into that game for the listeners?
In what context? You make choices and decisions every single time. Like every question they ask you can go in multiple directions, and you can sometimes leverage your class to make decisions, depending if you're like a rogue or a wizard, if you know certain information. And so yeah, it can change the story.
Yeah, so I think that's what I was getting at, Angel. So would you say could you talk to someone, and if there was 3 dialogue options, if you pick 1, 2, or 3, would it send the game in a drastically different direction?
Oh, for sure.
Like groundbreaking. It's not just like, oh, hey, it's a little thing there. Like you're going to a different finish line.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to, and if there's a way to explain that in a little more detail, or maybe that was enough for the CoinOpians. Who knows?
Yeah, it's like any little. It's like the butterfly effect, right? Any little decision you make can send the adventure in a completely different direction, which I think is the draw, because you start talking to friends and it's like, oh, did you get to this part? Yeah, I did this, or I noticed that you can see something like a hidden cave or cavern or something, and you talk to this one person and it takes you in a completely different trajectory. I think that's the fun. That's the excitement of it.
Yeah. So to make like a super simple example, you could walk across someone and they could say, hey, I need help. And you could either say, yeah, sure, I'll help you, or nah, I really can't right now. Or you could just fight them or rob them right then and there. Right, Ryan?
That's correct.
So in the beginning of the game, I started realizing every person I talked to has all of these different options and things that could go in different directions. So it started getting kind of overwhelming of, wow, every person I talk to can send this thing in all these different directions. Now, on top of that, I realized your companions, the people on your team, would react negatively or positively based on what you say and or do. So when I first started playing the game, I said, okay, well, I should play this game like Chris. If, like, for example, if I came across someone and they said, hey, can you spare a few minutes? I need help. I'd be like, yeah, sure. No problem. So I would go that route. But I noticed one of my companions that I felt was very important is Lazelle, a Githyanki fighter. She's like this really buff chick with a big sword. She did not like Chris's decisions. Her background is she lives on a harsh lifestyle. Like everything's about like strength and order, and it's eat or be eaten. And when I say, yeah, I'll help you for a few minutes, she goes, we don't help weak people, or we have more important things to be about. And so she was getting really, really irritated with a lot of my choices. And I was like, well, she's an important character to me. She's going to be helpful. I want to make sure that I'm boosting her morale as well. So as I progressed, I started adjusting. Instead of playing like Chris, I started playing like how I think Lae'zel would respond to the situation. So I came across this goblin in a cage called Saza. Ryan, you want to tell me about the Saza goblin in a cage situation?
I don't remember Saza in the cage.
Okay. Angel, do you remember a Saza? Maybe I'm saying her name wrong.
Is that Act 1?
Huh? Act 1, yep.
Oh, I don't remember.
Act 1, the Druid's Grove.
Oh, that's a while ago. I do want to add a comment, though. I hate to derail, but so I played in a group with Alex, Kyle, and Kayla. Shout out to you guys. Where we would kill main characters based on what their outfit was. Like if you
wanted their stuff,
if they thought it was cute. Yeah. I killed the druid because I wanted his armor. I thought it looked so dope. And then one of my other teammates, I think, killed the Githyanki because they thought it looked cool. So, anyways, decisions were made. Go on.
Solid. So Angel, we have this situation where the goblin in the cage. You said you don't remember that situation.
No.
Okay, so I'll roll into it. So you had these group of people that their people got attacked by goblins, and so they're really bitter about it. They captured one goblin. This goblin's in the cage. So this person comes in there with a crossbow, and she says, "Hey, I'm going to kill you because you killed my brother." And so at that moment, then Chris has to make a decision, and the decision is: do I step in front of the crossbow and say, "Hey, whoa, let's talk about it"? Well, I realized my Lae'zel chick didn't like that one. So instead I picked the other option, which was, well, let's just see how this plays out. And do you want to know what happened when I selected that one?
What?
The person with the crossbow shot and killed that goblin in the cage, and it couldn't move. and it was just that, and it was dead. And I was like, wow. And it's funny because it goes like, oh, Lae'zel approves, but I go, that's kind of messed up. Like that that goblin wasn't even the person that killed that. They were just doing their war bond thing. Like it was in a cage. It wasn't even a fair combat. Like there were just so many problems with that. So I was like, okay, whatever. So then you go a little bit more, and there is a scene where a druid is accusing a child of stealing. Does Ryan or Angel remember that situation?
Say it one more time.
Okay, so there's a druid, and then there's a child that was accused of stealing.
Yes, was it the snake or the druid?
Yep, yeah, that one. There you go. So who wants to explain that story?
Go for it, Angel.
Okay, so basically, this child was caught by this druid circle. Turns out to be a bunch of fucking bullies, dude, of stealing, and basically the consequence was the druid lady, who was the head druid person, was going to have her snake attack this child as a consequence. And we chose to, hey man, maybe not have the snake do it because it's a kid. Okay, it's a kid, of course they're gonna steal. Fuck you. Ended up killing her. I wanted her dress.
So at what point did you go back and kill him? Because you couldn't do it the first time.
Oh, friend,
you had to come back later on.
So did. We're just that good, dude.
You reset the game a few times, go back in your save file of that, you get like some good reroll.
I had a lot of save files.
You got to accept your fate. You can't reload your save.
Yeah, exactly. You can't fucking just reset it.
I doubt you went through and just cleared out all those druids.
Hey,
at
man, I know it's really hard for a lot of people to understand how great we were, but let me tell you something. When we wanted an outfit, we got that outfit.
Dang.
Right.
Legit.
Okay.
So I rolled into that scene, and I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, I should step in there and say, hey, it's just a kid. Like, let's all calm down for a minute. And then I was like, okay, what's a more like masculine way to say that? Because I want this person to get a morale boost. So it was like the other option was like, well, there's got to be another way to handle thieves. And I was like, okay, we'll just do this, which will, I don't know, go give her a slap on the wrist or something like that. Well, apparently when I selected that, the little girl freaked out and got scared and takes off running, and this snake kills her. And this was the second moment where I'm like, I just made a choice and I killed that kid.
Damn, Chris.
And dude, it bothered me. I like stopped for a moment. I was like, dude, I am doing this game wrong.
You're a monster.
I'm making terrible decisions. These things are happening, and I don't like how it's going. It was putting like knots in my stomach. So, and then ironically, for the snake example, is as you progress through the game, you keep running into that kid's parents, and there's more scenes where it keeps reminding me and like putting it in your face of like, oh, that happened. And so I just feel like haunted. And so I was getting PTSD from making these decisions just to keep these party members happy, and it was bothering me. So I started thinking, I was like, man, you know what? I'm a big fan of history. I like history. I think I like history because all the events are more or less already played out. They're all in the book, and I can look and see the different ways how it went. I can make some guesses on how it could have gone, but it's all there. And I'm starting to think it's just a video game, right? Should I feel bad about how those decisions went down, or should I write off and say, hey, it was a video game, it doesn't matter, I should be able to do whatever I want? What do you guys think?
I'll be honest with you. The first question that comes to mind is, why do you care so much that this other person of their judgment of Lizelle?
Because I was trying to build their morale, and it was especially because when I did the first go around, she kept disapproving, and then she left my party.
What drove you to gain her approval? What was that drive?
Yeah.
What was it?
What was what?
Why did you want her approval?
Oh, because I was playing as a ranger. I viewed her as the best fighting melee character, and I just like it. So she left so early in the game. I was like, oh, now I don't have one. So I want to make sure I keep her around. Like the other people, I thought were maybe not as important. So
it was the potential that she could be.
Yeah.
Because she could be some dumb bitch.
Very true.
Whoa, Angel.
She could. I'm not saying she is, but she could. There's potential.
Whoa.
Just to paint a picture of this game, the last thing I did before I haven't played it since, I wouldn't say quit,
Look at that.
was I let the vampire dude like suck my neck while I was falling asleep. He's like, can I just have a little taste? And I was like, like I'm playing a paladin, whatever. I'm like, I don't want to be like a dick.
I'll be honest with you. When that happened, that crossed my mind. I'm like, Steven would totally let this guy fucking suck.
I'm like, you know what? Just a little bit, right? Like I'm helping
a little
him
bit of
out.
blood.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like,
He was starving, right?
Poor guy.
Yeah, he was starving. I was like, you know what? Like, I don't want him to hurt nobody else. Like, I'll just give him a little bit of mine. And he started doing it. And I was trying to roll to like make him stop, and he wouldn't stop. And I had to to like have somebody resurrect me because he killed me. Fucker.
So you beat the game.
Fruitcake, dude.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's just decisions like that where you're I love that example, Steven, because you're like, I'm trying to do the right thing. I'm trying to help people, and it totally turned, and my guy died, and I either had to start the game over or get resurrected or things like
Angel's
that.
playing this. Steven's playing this stupid game. I see it.
On his lap.
I have such a good story about the game. Like I have such.
We're not talking about the story, Steven.
I know.
Yeah, this is Chris's time.
I'm saying I have a really good
selfish.
story at some point in the future. I want to tease that. Some serious
there you
shit
go.
went down.
There you go.
Carry on.
So that was kind of my big picture question is one. Well, I guess it's two part. One, should I feel guilty about the decisions I made and the consequences from a game? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
Yes, you should.
Well, how do you think you should feel, Chris?
I think this is where it was messing me up. Is when I was playing the game, I said I'm playing the game with the mindset of these are the decisions I would like to think I'm making in real life, and seeing how they went wrong. And I was like, man, do I do things? Do I also make decisions in life that maybe I'm not making them personally because of me? Maybe I'm making them for some other reason, for making a decision off a coworker, or to impress a boss. Or maybe that's an example of a coworker asked for help, and instead of me wanting to help him, I'd be like, hey man, you better get up to speed, or we're going to have to let you go. Like on the last episode, Ryan we were talking about leadership ideas, and we said, hey, we want to help the people who are willing to help themselves, but at some point you got to be willing to cut them off.
Yeah.
So should I want to help them, or should I say, hey man, if you can't keep up, then that's it. And I'm wondering if I'm making those type of decisions for someone else instead of myself.
At that point, so what I heard, the main driver for your decisions was the approval of this NPC, Lae'zel.
Mm-hmm.
And you prioritized her approval versus moral decisions. And after the moral decisions had consequences, you look back and you're like, I don't know if I really should have made that decision. I feel like you're prioritizing somebody else's goal over your own, and that you may have some cognitive dissonance with that.
Yeah. And I made the coworker example, but I was like, what if it's like your spouse, right? You're making a decision based on what your spouse or on your family, or if you guys have ever had a family member that didn't really play out the way you wanted it to, and you're trying to bounce around that. I think all in all, it made me realize, I think no matter what situation you're in, you should figure out how Chris is going to play the game, and you should just play Chris's game every time.
Yes,
I think that's the realization I've come to.
Because at that point, you're putting it out there that they play the game of life better than you. You're way smarter, Chris. You're a goddamn genius. You're going to tell me that this stupid
Thank you.
lizard woman who is closed-minded and angry is smarter than you and makes better life decisions than you? Maybe. I mean, it's good to be open and listen to this person. But Chris, you're a smart guy. You make good life decisions. If she makes bad life decisions, that's her decision. But yeah, she was a dumb bitch. I killed her.
Whoa.
There you go. So I think what I'm doing is, and I've kind of been working on this, I would say for the last year, I've been putting like a Word document together, and I've been trying to write down myself in the aspect of not necessarily like a journal, but just write down like my views on things. I have my own personal code of like my version of ethics, or my own version of integrity, or different ways that I want to operate. And I'm trying to write that down so that I can visually see it. And I go, okay, I feel like I have successfully written down what I see Chris as, what I see him good at, what I see him bad at, especially if there's something that I'm bad at. I'm like, okay, I need to be aware of that, so that situation doesn't happen. Or maybe if it's something I'm bad at, that's something that I need to work on, and I'll put some time aside. So I've been trying to write down myself and figure out what I can do to work around that. And I think after playing this game, I think it just added to it that I should really understand Chris's logic, so I can properly use that in every situation. Like if I ever come into a weird situation, I could just say, hold on, let me ask Chris what he thinks, or how he would operate that way. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you have a separation between your consciousness and your decision-making skills?
Yeah. It's funny because I was listening to this. I was actually listening to a YouTube video today, and a guy, what did he called it? I think he called it like an EMT, and it was like a something board of managers. And so he visualized 4 people that he knew well, like close friends or people he idolized. And whenever he had something to come up, he would in his head ask them, what they think or how they would operate. And he's like, oh, well, I don't know, let's take like the Dalai Lama, for example. If that was your person, you're like, hey, Dalai Lama, do you think I should give this guy money? This person begging for money, should I give that to him? And maybe the Dalai Lama would be like, oh yeah, no matter what it is, you should do that. Or maybe if you idolize, I don't know, someone else that's like, no, teach the guy to fish, don't give him a fish, something like that. But so that's what I'm trying to mentally do, is have Chris as a board of elders in my head that I can talk to.
Yeah, I thought about something like that today when I was driving and getting pissed off at somebody on the road, and you like think ahead about, oh, like what if I like cut him off, like, and there was like an accident or something like that. And like, so I was thinking like, okay, kind of the same way where you are like, oh, let me see what Chris would do, or this council of people would think. I was thinking, imagine myself explaining this to like my wife, or like just somebody or an officer or something like that later on, and I'm explaining what happened to them. Are they going to be on my side or not? You know, that's
a good
what
way
I
to
was
think
kind of
about
thinking. I was like, if I'm telling this story to the officer, well, you know what? This guy was driving up the shoulder really fast and he was honking at everybody. And, you know, I decided I'm going to be the person that steps in front of him and I cut him off and then he hit the back of me. And blah, blah. The officer's going to be like, you know what? It sounds like you both are idiots. So, you know,
Right.
like, and I'm like thinking it that way. I'm like, you know what? Like, that's such a rational way to like, you know, see if a decision is going to be a good idea or not. Like, or you go home to your wife, you're like, yeah, so like got in a fight because this dude cut me out. Like, you know, it's just going to be like, you can't be doing shit like that. And think about the aftermath of a decision and think of how the aftermath is going to play out. And then you'll maybe calm down pretty fast or make a better decision, even if you're not heated, like just thinking, oh, well, any decision in life. So yeah, I like that. I like the thinking of a council of people, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you know, speaking of that, I feel like I should add like my wife to my mental counsel.
Definitely should be there because whether you agree with her or not, she's going to be in your ear about whatever decision you make. So,
So,
Chris, can I give you some honest feedback?
Of course, this is the place to do it.
Is it?
This is a safe place for all of our listeners.
Hey, Angel's worried.
I'm worried.
I was going to say your karaoke sucks.
Hey, man, I'm just being fucking honest, okay? And I was genuinely worried. I'm like, this poor fucker thinks he's doing amazing. Chris, you were talking at the beginning. You really care, and it really affects you when you make a poor decision. Like you were talking about, like your March Madness. What was that, basketball?
Yeah. I was talking about fantasy football and March Madness.
Yeah, I feel like that's contradicting because you strike me as a person who actively looks at situations they've been in and what could I have done better, instead of sometimes just shutting down because either someone's judging you or you know that was just a bad thing. I'm just never going to do it again. I don't know if I listened to that correctly in the beginning, but I found
I think you're accurate on that. Where the my example for fantasy football and for March Madness is I spent a lot of time thinking about something and I ended up making the poor choice, the less value choice. And I remember it just sticks with me because I'm like, Chris, like you knew it. You were thinking about it. You said it out loud. You know what? That's a risky move. That's a bad idea. But you ended up settling on the wrong one. And so I feel like I beat up myself a lot of, okay, next time, don't do the risky one in that situation or really think that through. I think I'm just naturally really hard on myself when I've made a choice that went bad. So I think that's how I should more or less be operating normally, is I should really think through and say, hey, what's the right choice? And then when I started playing the game is when I saw the transition where I went away from that original line of thinking to just trying to get to a projected outcome of, the main goal is I want this morale boost over here. And then it was the flack in the process, you know, the people that I had to walk over in the process started to bother me. And I was like, you know what? I should have thought about that it was going to make me walk over people. And I should have said, hey, no, it's a bad idea. Or trying to get this morale boost was a waste of time.
Don't you? I mean, but I feel like there's another element to this. And you're playing a game, first of all. So I'm wondering why you're weighing your conscience so much on this. And then also it's a role-playing game, and Dungeons and Dragons encourages you to role-play all types of different alignments of chaotic good, chaotic neutral. Like, so you play the game true to yourself. Like I'm going to play this game as if it was Chris playing the game, right? That's how you're choosing to role-play this game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fun?
Yeah, you know, it's ironic because I feel like when we play Dungeons and Dragons, I have tried to switch it up and be like, okay, I'm going to do something drastically different that I don't normally do. And I don't know. I guess sometimes I get fun out of it. Sometimes I don't. It just doesn't seem like it's as smooth.
The point I want to make is, Chris, you make the best decision with the information you have at the time. And with new information, your mind may change. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, especially with low stake games like
that is okay.
Like the basketball thing, March Madness, low stakes because your life isn't over if you lose. In a matter of speaking, you know, you're not homeless and dying or anything. It's just, you know, just losing face, and that could be important to you. I don't know, but you know, it's okay. It's if you learn from it and you look back on it, you can't beat yourself up too much. And I think you said it. You know, you may beat yourself up a little too much about it, and it's okay. It's the information you make. I believe you make the best decision you make. You made the best decision with the information you had at the time.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if it's maybe I'm thinking too much about the times when it didn't go well, and I'm losing track of the times where it did go well, because I feel like a lot of times those times where it did play out perfectly, it blended in. I don't really notice. I only remember the bad times. But yeah, I agree with that. That I think it is. I think a lot about these things, and I think it's a good thing. It's just funny looking back at it that I'm like, man, I did the best that I could at it, but it still didn't play out the way I wanted it to. And it is what it is. Chalk it up. But I would like to think that I'm at the point now where I do so much good thinking that I would have a lot more positive track record on there.
Yeah. Well, even then, that's ego, right? If you think that you've optimized, well, there's always going to be someone better than you. And
true.
You can't just be like, I'm the best always. You always have to evolve your thinking, whatever it is. But yeah. I think you're being too hard on yourself, friend.
You can only control what you can control, Chris.
True.
You're a great strategist, but even the greatest strategists are overcome, and it depends on whether you're willing to understand that, hey, there's someone else smarter than me, because there's always someone smarter, and I can learn from it, or I'm going to be in denial.
True. So yeah, that was my topic.
I love the idea of Chris just playing this game conflicted as fuck every fucking decision. There's literally millions of decisions, and then probably the times that he's like, I'm gonna make a good decision and help this person out, and he critically fails, and the person fucking hates him or dies, and he's just like, no, I mean, I'm trying to do the right thing, man.
Yep. It was, and I feel like Boulder's Gate is more often than not, I felt like blindly just doing the right thing almost always had some form of a backfire like tied to it. I realized it was much safer for me to just go in very neutral on things. If someone's like, oh, hey, help me, and you go to help them, and then it ended up being like a bad thing that attacks you. And I'm like, okay, well, that's what you get for doing that. So it made me more cautious for sure, instead of just seeing rose colored glasses on everything where I'm just going to help everyone. I'm going to be the local superhero.
True. All right. Chris, thank you so much for your talk. I realize we're at an hour 10.
Yep.
And that's partially my fault because my ass. Stupid ass computer. All right. Let's go ahead and
spin your fucking wheel. Oh yeah, look who it is. It's me.
You don't know that yet. It hasn't finished spinning.
Could be thin white line. Ooh, it almost is.
Ryan.
We should still have like a 1% sliver in there that like is a wild card, like crazy thing that we do at any time when we spend it.
We sing karaoke to end the episode.
Ryan, you got 8 minutes.
Ooh. Let's go,
What's
baby.
bring the CoinOpians today?
Well, it's convenient that your topic was about choices, Christopher. Because I'm going to talk about a young man who's made some poor decisions lately. What the fuck just happened?
So, someone made a poor decision by not paying their internet bill, apparently.
It was everybody, Steven.
Dude. Spectrum's fucking me for wanting to save $30 a month.
So Ryan's going to talk about a guy who made bad decisions. I wonder if he has PTSD about it.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
We're going to talk about a young man named Ryan Garcia. Steven, you know Ryan Garcia.
Yes, I do. Famous boxer.
Well, what makes this guy so famous? Because I never heard about this guy until
he's a young dude that got, he knew the right people, but he also had a good skill set, like really good. And he was a handsome young man. So he got pretty popular, like, in the mainstream. Girls liked him, and he actually had the skill to back it up. So.
Got a lot of followers.
Superstar.
Never heard of him.
He's a handsome young man, you say, Steven. You find him attractive.
Gay.
Whatever.
Good for you.
I'm going to get another letter from my friend in Alabama.
Well, Mr. Garcia came to Ryan's attention because he showed up in my conspiracy-obsessed TikTok feed at the beginning of March, because this young man seemed to lose his fucking shit. And I have a chronological retelling of these events, and I want you guys to determine whether Ryan Garcia simply lost his shit, or is he whistleblowing some major shit that's going on. So apparently all this started at the beginning of March in a conversation on Twitter, or X, formerly known as Twitter, where the fuck it is, between Ryan Garcia and Andrew Tate. Who's Andrew Tate, Steven? Is he another boxer?
Andrew Tate is an ex like MMA fighter kind of guy who then got famous for doing like a red pill type of podcast type of thing where they talk about how men are far superior and women are just like their subjects and very like men's right type podcast. He's just overall like asshole, I guess, but like a lot of Steven, you're fucking stupid. He's the top G.
Okay. Lower gain. You're sounding like this.
Okay. So just like most people, let me see. I'm trying to see my gain here. Most people would consider Andrew Tate an asshole because he was very red pill, which means he's talks about men's right, but in a very chauvinistic way. But does he have good points? Maybe sometimes. Overall asshole? Probably. Yes. And kind of douchey. He got into trouble in Romania, I think, by like trafficking women or something. He ended up being like a criminal and he got put in jail over there. What?
He was acquitted. That never happened. They were after him.
Well, either way.
Who's they, Angel?
The powers that be.
Either way, I mean, nobody who's living on the straight and narrow is going to get put in a Romanian prison for like trafficking and shit. Whether he did it or not, I mean, he's up to no good.
Beautiful.
Spoken like a woman.
Anyways, I don't really know enough about Andrew. I just know like the highlights, right?
All right.
So
anyway, I guess in early March, Ryan Garcia and Andrew Tate were chatting on X, going back and forth, and Ryan Garcia made a claim that he was held captive at the Bohemian Grove, Stephen. As you all may recall, that was when we had our spook off, and Ryan, the repeat champion of the CoinOp Cowboys, whenever there's a contest, I seem to win. Coincidence? I think not. But anyway,
nerd.
He claims that he was kidnapped at the Bohemian Grove and he was forced to witness child sacrificial rituals.
I don't believe it was kidnapped. I feel like he went there willingly, but then during his stay there was forced into watching unthinkable acts that he could not choose to not watch. They held him down and forced him to watch.
He was held captive.
Yeah, so
all this shit happened, and apparently at some point Ryan Garcia disappeared from the public eye for a few days. So everybody was like, is he dead? What's going on? And then on March 4th, he resurfaced with a strange video saying he doesn't have access to his phone or social media. He's being taken advantage of, doesn't have access to his credit cards, doesn't have any access to money, but he's not dead, and he wants everyone to know that he's okay. And he praises his love for Jesus. And then he disappears again, and he reappears on March 6th with a tirade of posts. And the first thing he posts is a supposed leaked, quote-unquote, Bohemian Grove fucking cultish practice video. And he says that, I'm with my wife, Drea. All other is cap. Made me almost lost my family. All of his posts are very grammatically incorrect, so he will be banned after this episode. But
he's been punched in the head a bunch of times, dude.
Huh?
He's been hit in the head a lot.
I imagine so. And then on top of that, after that post, he says, this is quote, this is not my writing, this is him writing. He says, I changing the Pope name to Poop. What? That's what he says.
The important stuff.
I changing the Pope name to Poop.
Okay.
And then he follows this post up with several links to all these sex crime stories that the church are involved in. And then he posts several more times about how he is posting the truth. And he says, this one blew my mind. This is a good part. He says, how slick I was going in and coming out with the files. So then he posts a story. He's posted a video on TikTok about how he was visiting the Vatican and he was being swarmed by fans at the Vatican, and the church pulled him into a building, and then they realized, oh, you're Ryan Garcia. Let's give you a tour. And he claims they took him on a behind-the-scenes tour of some church of the Vatican, and he was able to steal files that showed the location of the Ark of the Covenant, as well as information about giants, aliens, and clones, quote unquote everything he says.
Wow.
And he's bragging about how slick he was to be able to go in there and just steal the files. And then he says, slowly you guys will understand who I actually am. And then a post after that, he coins the term Ryan Life Matters. I appreciate that. The lives of Ryans matter. And all of his posts after this, Angel, wake the fuck up. Have this Ryan Life Matters text. Now, Angel, this is going to spook you.
Me?
Yeah, it's going to spook you.
Good luck.
His next tweet is simply June 6th, earthquake bad.
Was it June 6, 2024?
Yes. So he's claiming that there's going to be a massive earthquake on June 6th in California.
All these doomsday predictions really go according to plan.
Yes.
Okay, so this is his first doomsday prediction after
This is his first doomsday prediction that he made.
Okay.
He's kind of implying that this is all being planned by the powers that be. And all this is all still going on March 6th, by the way. There's a tirade of tweets on March 6th. Then after this, he says, sounding the trumpets, those who had an ear understand. One of them were sounded off in 2021 early. So claiming that the heavenly trumpet started sounding in 2021. And then he tweets, I'm not the crazy one. It's the people that know what I'm saying but are silent. Those are the cowards and lazy ones. And then he posted a video from Ice Cube. Who Ice Cube posted like this 4-minute video about he's not part of the club and that's why he's not really famous anymore. He refused to join in on what these occult Illuminati are doing. And then he says, and I quote, I, Ryan Garcia, will not be speaking or tweeting or writing anything other than my fight. Boxing, quote unquote, and sports. He's got a big fight coming up in April. Is that right, Steven?
I don't really know what he has coming up. He lost to like the last guy he fought, so.
I think supposedly he's supposed to have a big fight on April 20th.
I wonder who he's fighting.
No.
Sounds like he's done a little too many drugs, or I think he drinks a lot.
That's what the internet was saying. If you Google his name, a lot of people are saying like he's into drugs and he's drinking. And
well, he's posted videos of him just chugging drink. But like, this is the thing. Someone who's gone through a lot of shit probably would drink a lot. And if somebody is going to start to talk on things that they're not supposed to talk about, the first thing any secret elite covenant cult thing would do is paint you as a crazy person. It's the first thing they would ever do to anybody trying to expose anybody. It would be to either kill you or make you a crazy person that people would just not believe what you have to say or give enough suspicion of doubt. He has files, he has receipts, all this crap that he claims to have, which is probably bullshit. Post it. Right?
Yeah. That was the TikTok video that Ryan sent me. I feel like he was talking with on someone's podcast. He's like, I got receipts, I got this, and he just rambled off about all the stuff he has, and he's gonna post it. And the guy's like, okay, do it. And I kind of agree with that. I'm like, don't just say you're gonna do it. If you apparently have all this stuff, throw it out there. I mean, unless it's gonna get pulled off the internet that quickly, I don't know.
He strikes me as a patho. It's like a pathological liar, like somebody who's just, I've met enough of them in my life. I can smell it when I see it. And that's just like somebody who just has to they just make up stories in their head.
yeah.
And they tell it, they just think it's true. They're 100% true. And like, I don't know. I mean, it just sounds like somebody who's like gone really deep into rabbit holes, looking into like conspiracy theories and stuff. They're really fun.
Yeah.
Everybody likes to kind of look into them, but I feel like he gets into it and he might be a little bit not intelligent. Because I've heard him talk on different like interviews and stuff, and he doesn't really strike me as intelligent.
Oh yeah, if you go through his Twitter feed, it's like bizarre and on like a intelligence level.
And at the end of the day, like that podcast dude did it right. If you have stuff, post it. Enough yapping. That's what the young kids call it now. Is when someone's talking too much. It's like you're yapping and you're not really producing anything. Like come with the receipts. You capping, bro.
Bet. So Christopher, on March 6th.
But I would love it. I would love it if some groundbreaking conspiracy came out. It would be like make my day. That like all these things are talked about and nothing ever happens.
You better hope this June 6th earthquake doesn't happen, Stephen.
I'll just stay away from downtown LA that day.
Stay away from downtown LA every day.
Well, yeah.
For myriad of reasons. But anyway, Christopher, March 6th. Ryan says he's only going to talk about his boxing now. Do you believe him?
You meant March 6th and not
March 6th.
No, okay.
Yeah,
okay, so in the past.
Yeah. June 6th is the earthquake. Okay. March 6th was his myriad of tweets.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So one more time, what's your question then?
He says he's going to be quiet about all this other nonsense and only talk about boxing. Truth?
I doubt that.
Yeah, he can't help himself.
Bet.
Nah, no way. It seems like I feel like he can't just turn it off. You know, if he feels that passionately about it and all that before, he's not just suddenly gonna say, "Oh, I'm just gonna stop talking about it." I don't think there's any human that could just cut something out there cold turkey like that.
Yeah, truth. Because on March 12th, he's back, baby.
There's another thing that you have to remember, and boxers have to hype up they have to hype up these fights, right? Why are people going to watch? You know, everybody's going to want to tune in because he's going viral with all these ridiculous claims and all these things. They're going to want to see him fight, regardless. So he's going to sell a bunch by being this lunatic,
or he's going to get himself canceled because it's just going into like psychotic areas, and he's calling out like big names. Like we haven't gotten to the point where he starts calling a bunch of people out.
Ooh, I want to hear that. Let's hear it. Who's he calling out?
So he comes back on the 12th. I say he reactivates. He posted a couple of like boxing videos in between, like him working out, doing jump ropes and shit and running, whatever. But on March 12th, he comes out and he says, "Imagine one of your kids going through what I've seen or going through trauma of having to witness that. You wouldn't be quiet. You wouldn't be chill." Valid. But he stops talking about that and he starts attacking Logan Paul, specifically the Prime drink, claiming that the Prime drink is killing people and everyone's going to realize soon like why Prime is evil. Angel, this is part of your people, the Prime drink. You like to do these kid things like Fortnite. What is the Prime drink?
Prime drink is by Logan Paul, created by Logan Paul and friends. Basically, it's like either a hydration or a energy drink. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like a Gatorade.
Yeah, basically.
I see it all the time in the stores. It's fucking ugly looking.
Never tried it?
Got it.
I tried it once. It was just like...
What a boomer. That's Cat, friend. That's so
I ain't
Cat.
touching shit involved with Logan Paul.
You're a Gyat. You're a Gyat hater.
Yeah, I hate Logan Paul.
Why don't you be a Rizzler, friend?
Rizzler?
Yeah, you should be a Rizzler.
Yeah, Cat.
Someone who has
Cat.
charisma,
Can't just start fucking saying words.
Anyway, he goes on a tirade with Logan Paul, trashing the Prime drink, saying it's garbage, it's gonna kill you. I'm fully on board for that. Whatever. Gets interesting again on March 13th. He claims to know exactly who killed Tupac.
Didn't they already figure that out?
I was just looking at that tweet. This is the words he put. He said, "Would you believe me if I told you I know for a fact who killed Tupac? A lot of y'all know the answer, but I can prove it." So,
but he doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, my point was he used way more words in that sentence. He could have just said, "I know who killed Tupac." But then you know what's better than saying "I know who killed Tupac" is saying "this person killed Tupac." Just post that.
Yeah,
you don't need to hype people up. Yeah, just be like, "This is it," and then
all for clout.
Yeah.
And then he jumps from Tupac and starts talking about Jeffrey Epstein. And then he says, everybody's involved, all the celebrities, all the politicians you think, and essentially even more than that. But he doesn't really say anything specific. He just kind of goes into generic.
This dude went on Wikipedia and looked at all current conspiracy theories and just started like
soaking it up,
pretending he's living that life. Just as I know, maybe it's like a thing that he has to be involved. Like people, like make himself more important than he actually is.
I think he was listening to our podcast, my segment in particular, because he keeps dipping into things. So he's
got to be it.
Stephen, why do you discount what he's saying as craziness? This is just I'm not agreeing with him. I just want to understand.
Because he's not posting anything concrete about it. He's just posting up generic things.
It's all
and then he moves on to something else. It's like
So what would be the drive not to post anything?
What?
What would be the drive to not post anything? What if he's just trying to make people aware?
Well, but if you're going to make them aware, like, bring it. So he's saying a bunch of like generic conspiracy theories, and he's saying he has receipts, but he doesn't say more.
If he starts showing the receipts, people can start calling him a liar, and then he has a legitimate target on his back, and he could die. I'm just playing devil's advocate. If you play all your cards, okay, and people see that you're actually playing the cards, okay, well that's interesting news. Half the group is going to say that that's fucking bullshit. He fucking doctored that shit, and the other half is going to say, yeah, that's legitimate. After the fact, when that's past the media cycle, next thing you know, he committed suicide or whatever the hell. But he is a target, so I can see the motivation for him not to share anything.
They won't kill him because no one will accept a suicide. It will validate what he's saying.
No, because that's happened before.
They'll just let him spiral.
Yeah, that's what they thought happened at the beginning of March after the chat with Andrew Tate, and then he kind of disappeared for a little bit, and he came out with this proof of life video. And then he just went crazy on Twitter after that. And then it seems like maybe like his management team told him about it's going to stop, like ruin his career, and he got quiet for a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
So he moves into the Epstein thing on the 13th, and then he goes quiet for a couple of days, posts some more boxing videos and call outs to his people.
Oh, it's about his hair, putting lotion in his hair.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird. There's a lot of weird lotioning videos going on.
Well, because he said that he puts lotion in his hair as like a hair product. And people like it blew people's mind.
But,
and then he.
But Ryan, what about his wife? Because the wife situation happened right between December and March. Do you have that on your segment?
No, I only have March.
Okay,
I don't have. I didn't find anything interesting in February, so I stopped there. What happened to his wife in December?
Yeah, so December 23rd, 2023. So this last December, his wife gives birth to their first son, Henry Garcia. He's born on December 23rd, and they go ahead and announce it. So that was December 23rd. On March 8th, so we're talking like a hair over 2 months later, his wife goes on, or March 3rd. Yeah, so March 3rd, Ryan Garcia's ex-wife just posted this on her Instagram story. If all of my followers who are believers, can you please pray for Ryan? We are not together, and I've been in contact with him, and he may seem fine, but he is not. I know in my heart he is being heavily oppressed. This is not a troll. I'm genuinely concerned about him. Pray for him.
Oh.
So in a 2-month span of everything fine, bringing your kid into the world, he just went off the rail, and and it's not just wife, it's ex-wife at that point. So they went from having a kid to being ex-wife 2 months later. I don't think California moves that fast.
Can you believe that? Haram. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Harabi?
Anyway, that's very serious. Haram. It's something that Andrew Tate says.
What the hell does that mean?
Haram is like sin, right?
Yes, it's sin. How dare she? I don't know.
Cap.
That's so cap.
Rizzler.
So maybe the responsibility of a child just broke him, Chris.
That might be it. I think it was his second child, so that might partially adjust that thought.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. His life just spiraled so quickly, so fast. And then, so when you started talking, I just typed into Google. All the sports websites are repeatedly saying mental health issues.
Yeah. If you Google him, it's all mental health issues, drugs, and alcohol. They don't really like go in depth into what he's saying at all. They're just saying that people are concerned that he's got mental health issues and substance abuse.
Mm-hmm.
They're smearing him. Yeah. They don't really go into depth on what he's saying at all.
Do you think there's any truth to what he's doing? What's the percentage? I don't
think there's any truth into him like knowing anything specific. I think he's just gone on like a rabbit hole of going into conspiracies and believes them. And he's kind of
he's like a narcissist and making it about himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like he read all these conspiracies. He believes in his heart that they're probably true.
Yeah.
Or mostly true. And he's like, well, how can I make this about myself? And just turn all these stories into, well, I was there and I have the files and all this stuff. But clearly doesn't.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of like mental health issues. He's gone down a rabbit hole, and he's probably gotten a lot of attention from people when posting this, and he craves that attention maybe.
Yeah.
Probably brought in a whole flood of people he's never interacted with, because I've never heard of him before, so I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of people that just suddenly found out who he was and are reaching out to him and interacting with him.
So I have just a slightly different take on there. He's talking about all these different things. Like it'd be different if you just, like the Mel's hole guy, like the hole was the one thing he focused on and he wanted to talk about. This guy's talking about all these different things that happened in a very short period of time. So I think something weird did happen to him. I think it was one weird instance. Maybe he came across one of these, the secret social group or whatever. I think he came across something, or someone said, "Hey man, you got to get this straightened out, or all your fam, all your glamour is going to go away." And he didn't like that one instance. So he started researching all these things and putting it out there to try and push back. And I think he's still getting kind of quieted a little bit. So I think what he's saying is not as drastic as it really is, but I think there is some substance to it.
Yeah, maybe.
And it's mostly because I'm seeing all these websites that usually disagree with each other are all in unison agreeing that he has mental health issues.
So 13th starts posting about Epstein. Then he goes quiet for 2 days, and then he attacks Katy Perry.
He's just swinging for the fences, man.
Our beautiful Katy Perry. He goes after her, and he reposts an old video of her where she claims that she sold her soul to the devil. In the video, she says she tried to get popular in one way, wasn't working out, sold her soul to the devil, and got famous. That's the synopsis of that video. And then he gets pretty wild. And you know what he does next, Angel? What do you think he does next?
I don't know, man.
He says that he's going to run for president of the United States.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
and then he makes the claim that all his posts moving forward are going to be posted by his team.
By what?
All of his posts moving forward are not going to be posted by him, but by his team.
Right.
Yeah, so then he posts like a bunch of videos where he'll like type on his phone and hand his phone to somebody else and say, "Post this."
I mean, that's not uncommon, right? He's becoming a larger celebrity. He has a team.
Yeah.
He can't do it himself, and there's legal ramifications for his actions.
So now he claims that he's going to make some phone calls to change the Constitution so they can modify the age for running for president. Because I think he's in like his 20s. Yeah, Steven.
Delusions of grandeur, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I should have saved my opinion until you were done talking, because now it's getting worse. It's wild swinging now. It reminds me of Antonio Brown.
Well, the first thing he's going to do once he becomes president is give everybody $1 million. Everyone's going to get $1 million from Ryan
Are you actually
Garcia.
saying all this?
Yeah. You can find all this on his Twitter account. It's great. And then some people clap back at him saying that will destroy the economy, but he's got a plan to do it in like payments. So it'll all be cool. And all of them say like posted by his team. That's what he says. So he does a few presidential posts talking about the divided states of America. Shit like that. But then he moves on to the weekend.
There's more?
Oh, yeah, he keeps going. And then he posts about the weekend and saying, hey, the weekend has shown us in his videos about how he sold his soul to the devil. Because the weekend has all kinds of satanic imagery and all his shit, just like we've talked about in previous things with Taylor Swift and whatnot. And he's claiming that that's further proof that all these big wigs in the show business have been tainted by the devil and are there to taint us as well.
It's funny, like how people getting hit in the head a lot has like effects on their personality. Like some people just get angry all the time. Some people get like delusional and like there's old videos of him being like a totally normal guy.
I have seen nothing of him being any.
Go back in time,
normal.
like rewind like 6 years, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think just now it's just...
He was just a bright young boxer coming up the ranks. Everything was normal. And then just a sudden change. And it's such a drastic change. It keeps making me think there was something weird that happened. I really don't know what, but it just seemed so out of place for someone to turn so harshly.
Or could it have been like he was kind of famous for a little bit, but then eventually he got his big payday and just got a shit ton of money. And fucking...
He also lost a fight too. Like on the biggest stage of his career, he lost a fight to like another guy. It doesn't matter who it was. He lost it. It was a big fight and it was worldwide, and he lost. It has effect on people's like egos.
Yeah. So his ego kind of got crushed, and now he's kind of panicking and trying to find his way back into the limelight, sort of. But after the 15th, he goes through some things with the Weeknd about hidden messages, about satanic shit. It goes quiet until when, Christopher? Starts talking about boxing for a bit.
I was thinking,
then he comes back.
Did you already get to the 12th, or are you before the 12th?
Yeah, we're
Where are you at? Because I'm like 6 days ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Where I'm at.
I'm
like going down his feed.
I go to the 15th until today. He came back today.
How do you see the date? Because all I see is like 6 days ago. I don't know the actual date.
Just want to keep you guys in the loop. It's 12:20.
Well aware.
Right.
Well aware.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cash apping fans who like and comment.
The last thing I have is like the 15th, 13th area.
Yeah, everything's pretty much boxing after the Weeknd one. Until today, he comes back.
Today?
And he posted today, and he says that he will have an interview next week that he'll live stream on TikTok with a Nickelodeon child star, but it doesn't reveal who this child star is going to be.
Didn't they just have an interview about Ariana Grande being on Nickelodeon?
Well, there's like a whole Nickelodeon documentary.
Yeah, Ariana Grande. Yeah, I guarantee Ariana Grande like did shit to get famous, and she probably won't speak out against it because she was in all that shit.
Yeah,
the people who are like speaking out are the people who never really like did anything after. Like, and there was definitely quid pro quo in that time with Nickelodeon and wherever else. Like, I mean, with acting in general, Hollywood, it was like who you fucking to get into this role or that role or.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
That's what Harvey Weinstein went to jail for, was using his influence to like force women into like having to do shit.
But so the last thing he posted was this interview that he's going to have next week with who knows who. But I'm just looking at like the engagement that he has on his Twitter. It's not very many. Like he's getting like 100 comments, 200 comments, 4,000 likes. And this is supposedly like a boxing superstar, right, Steven?
Yeah.
So he's like losing his following?
Well, I'm just wondering if they're limiting anything like comments wise, because he's definitely like you would at least be getting enough comments of people just talking shit, right?
Yeah. Because like even like his videos of him like shadow boxing, it's got 489 comments and just under 6,000 likes. And it had like 4 million views. Which doesn't seem like that many for like a superstar boxer. Like I could be wrong.
Yeah, it seems interesting. Very, very low. Seems very low. Even if any celebrity posted anything, like they would get more than 4,000 troll comments of just like, unless there's like, you can't do that on Twitter. I don't know how, I don't use Twitter. Maybe like you can set your,
that was a good one. Did you put your butt up to the mic?
No.
Wow.
Distant.
All right. How are we doing, Ryan?
I'm good. I've pretty much reached my end. I'm ready for us to give final thoughts on what's going on with Ryan Garcia. Crazy or not?
I don't think it's all the way crazy. I think there was a foundation of truth, and he's spiraling. He was involved with like that one boxer, that Oscar De La Hoya. He was part of like that group or whatever. And then at some point, like right after he lost the fight, like they ditched him. They like ditched representation of him. And that's around the time where he like went crazy. Well, like he went crazy, not like 6 months after, but so I don't know. I think there is some like something there. I think there's a little bit of fire there, but I think it's mostly just smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would agree with Steven. There's something set this in action, But the fact that he's swinging his swing is going so far in so many different directions at so many randomized people, like it doesn't look organized. That makes me think it's the spiraling aspect. So something kind of got it going, and then he's just kind of getting away from himself.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I would say, I mean, I would probably give him like 4 weeks. If he doesn't come forward with something like substantial after another 4 weeks, I don't know if I'm going to keep chasing this. Oh, I got it. I'm never going to tell you, but I got it.
Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to reveal anything of any substance at all.
Cool.
But he doesn't really have a platform to do so.
Yeah, I kind of lost it.
Twitter is a place to do that, yeah. What do you think, Angel? What are your thoughts on Ryan Garcia?
Oh, you don't want to hear that.
King Ryan Garcia for president, as he likes to say.
Yeah, I'll delete this. I think he learned the truth. He thought he could influence people. He got a lot of pushback, eventually abandoned it. He learned he should have just kept his mouth fucking shut.
Oh.
He needs to just do what smart people do and just follow the money.
Let me say something.
I think, and I'm going to keep this in. I think that, it's a huge conspiracy theory and that he's a crazy person.
What about this? What about you get pissed off, you're at that moment of your life where you're like, fuck it, I just want to say it. I just want to I came on the Andrew Tate show, I just start spilling the beans, I'm going to say it. And his handlers and all the people around him are like, no way, don't do it. But he does enough anyways, and he gets in trouble. He was gone for how many weeks, Ryan?
It was a few days.
He comes back. What if the conversation in the meantime was like, literally, if you don't fucking do X, Y, and Z, these other things are happening. Maybe nothing's going to happen to you, but to people you love, all this stuff, right? So you need it. When you come back, you're going to be drinking, you're going to be spewing a bunch of nonsense. You're just going to discredit yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Either we're going to discredit you or you're going to discredit yourself, and then you're going to go back to boxing and shut the fuck up. What if that's the tactic right there?
So you're saying he revealed the truth, and then he got told by his team, you need to make yourself look crazy to discredit yourself, and we'll let you go box again.
Well, that's the way you get out of this, right? You fucked up, and you have two options right now. You either do this or this is going to happen. I could totally see that happening because he came back and he just started going all crazy. I mean, there's a reason why he's swinging for the fences, and either he's just legitimately crazy or someone told him he has to be crazy.
So if that's correct, does that mean there has to be a get right video eventually saying, hey, I got in a bad place, but I'm feeling good. I'm getting help.
I think that's that's a smart idea, and we're focusing on Ryan Garcia realizing that he has a problem. But the thing that I want to point out is if the stuff he's saying is true, the other side is incentivized for this to go away as well. So if it is true, they're like, hey man, we need to make this go away one way or another. It'll be much easier if you make it go away because then our hands are completely off of it. If you make us put you away, it's going to be more effort and we don't want it to get leaked back to us. So I could see that incentive.
Right. If I was a secret society and I had all these secrets that I need to keep balled up, I know there's a great possibility that there's going to be whistleblowers. There's going to be people who go crazy that can handle it. I have to have a plan in place if it does.
Yeah.
There's going to be a plan in place for a Ryan Garcia, a guy who has, influence to go out there and start spewing his nonsense. And it has to be handled quickly. And from the moment he started saying it, he went away and he came back and now he's this mess of a person. So I don't know. There's a few celebrities that have been going through this kind of thing recently. It's interesting.
I think it's drugs. Drugs are bad. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
That's my stance.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about that, Angel. You falling asleep?
It's bedtime, man. It's 12:30. Our timekeeper sucks dick. I want to thank everyone for listening.
I gave up a long time ago when Ryan said "fuck timers" or something.
Fuck timers, baby.
So easily swayed. I want to thank everyone.
And also, we haven't done one in forever.
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for listening. Please, call to action: like, subscribe, follow, leave a comment. Tell us what you think about Ryan Garcia or Baldur's Gate and decisions that you make and influences behind that. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go close this out, and we're going to go in the perfect order for closing out, not necessarily mirroring the opening. We're going to start with Ryan.
Thank you for joining us again, CoinOpians. We'll see you again soon.
All right, very good. Thank you.
One love, forever. Straight from my heart to your heart.
Oh my God.
Write in. Show us you care.
Fuck.
And we'll return that.
God
love
damn it.
each and every episode.
Shut the fuck up, Ryan.
Wherever you choose to listen to your podcast. Whether in your car, in your headphones, laying in bed, taking a poop or a shower, we'll be there with you, watching.
Thank you, Ryan.
Always.
Thank you, Ryan. Next up, Chris.
Thanks, CoinOpians, for hanging out with us. Another great episode to talk through. We love your fan mail. We love hearing from you guys because, hey, we're doing it for you guys, you know. So send in what you got. Give us something to work with. I could tell Steven and Ryan are getting really perked up by getting some mail coming their way. Gives them something kind of to work with, fodder to aim for. So, you know, and even Angel got a little bit of love mail. So keep it coming. We enjoy it. We enjoy you guys. Have a good night.
Carl.
Thank you, Chris. And lastly,
Carl.
Steven.
Very eloquently said, Chris and Ryan. I want to kind of repeat your sentiments here, but I think I could do it better in there's a poem that I had heard earlier this week. It's not going to take very long. It's like 10 minutes, but it starts off about an old man that's put out to sea and he's lost at sea. I don't want to lose you here. But imagine being out in the middle of the ocean. You can't see a coastline either direction. That's like you guys out there listening to us. You're lost. We're here to guide you home. And if you find it in your heart to stick with us,
Take us home, Steven.
we will provide you with the hope, inspiration, love, and laughter that it will take on your long, hard journey. So the poem starts like this.
You fucking dick, dude.
Oh, I'm getting in trouble. I gotta go. Bye.
All right, and with that, fuck you guys. We're out.